Okay, so here's the first part of the setup. We got our long spokes over here for this side. We got our short spokes over here for this side. We got our rim all unwrapped, some grease, some spoke nipples, wrench, electric screwdriver, and then I actually forgot until I unwrapped this, but these come with a drilled for Presta valve, which is an interesting choice for a touring rim in a mountain bike size. So I gotta drill that out. Now, I want to warn you that when you're drilling out a Presta valve to fit a Schrader valve, especially on a wide rim like this, you just need to be aware that it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to start with that. This is a 21/64, according to our Lord and Savior Sheldon Brown. And so yeah, I'll drill that out and then we'll start lacing it up. Alright, well, that's all laced up. Obviously it's not tensioned yet. I think I probably got the spoke lengths right. We'll find out as it tightens up. Put on a podcast and it was all about how terrible everything is in Gaza. Really motivates a fella to wheel up a fucking bicycle wheel. But anyway, onwards, I guess. Well, hey, this is coming together all right. It's always a little bit dicey when you use somebody else's spoke calculator and somebody else's measurements and somebody else's service to get spokes of a given length, whether you're going to get the correct length or not. But these look like they're okay, so that's good. If the spokes like stab way out of the back of the nipple, they can puncture the inner tube, which is not great. But yeah, these seem all right. And I've got it up to, well, I got this crappy spoke tension tool, which is good for measuring, like, it's good for measuring relative spoke tension, but not absolute spoke tension, especially because I may have lost the chart that went with it. But that's okay. I can do it by ear. As far as dish, it's come out pretty good. And as far as, like, you know, I haven't trued it at all yet, but that's within a millimeter. I'd say that's even within a millimeter for side to side, for that matter. Maybe 2 millimeters. Of course, with the wheel moving and the truing stand moving and my hand moving, you can't necessarily tell. But yeah, that's coming along nicely. So I'm going to keep tweaking this and make sure it's fully up to tension, kind of play around with these spokes and bring it fully true off camera. But I mean, it's mostly done anyway. Probably another hour just tweaking it until it's perfect. Then I'll clean the schmutz off the inside of the rim where it should be all shiny, and right now it's all greasy. And then we'll put a tire on it, I guess. Call it good. Okay, so that other wheel is pretty much complete. I just gotta finish screwing it up and then put a tire on it, but it is mail call time again. This is the second to last one of these. So this is the stuff from China. We have a AKM 75SX from Ikema. This is the same hub that I put on that bike, except for this one still got the paint on it. Seems pretty good. I got this one. This one's a little different. It's 201 RPM instead of 328, so it's got more torque but less top end, which is fine because yeah, it was a better choice for this bike. And we got the cord for the motor. We got the, excuse me, we got the magnet ring and pedal sensor. We have the controller with all of its many jacks. We got a couple of brake levers, and then the no-turn washers, and then this little box right here, which has our display and throttle in it. And that is the left-hand throttle, just like I wanted it. And of course, the jacks for that. I feel like there was something I was going to say about these. Oh yeah, so like you can get these with waterproof connectors on them, or you can get them with this assortment of jacks on them. I'm going to be combining all of these wires into one harness, and then I'll just chop these connectors off and solder most of it together, so it should be more durable, because this is going to lead a rough life probably, and I don't want to have to deal with any issues that would be difficult to diagnose. So if it's all one piece of metal because it's all been soldered together, then that should be better. And then for this chain ring, I'll just drop that on the floor twice. But I think with this guy, crinkly noises. Jesus. Sure in love with that thing. So the way this is supposed to work, you're supposed to like split it apart and put it around the crank, and then use this giant clip to hold it together. Probably what I'm going to end up doing with this is what I ended up doing with the last one, because, well, that would probably look fine. See how it interferes with, if this is this diameter, then it's not going to be able to go in with that one piece crank. So what I'll probably do is take off this guard, and I'll probably just arrange the magnets around this, like melt or drill little holes in it, and then just like epoxy them onto this ring. And then it'll also be one piece, so kind of going with the theme, since that's for a one-piece crank. The brake levers I'll use as is, but I'm going to trim I'm going to change how this goes so that the Y split, instead of being at the connector at the back of the bike, is going to be right before it goes into the pipe that I'm going to use to carry the harness in, which is, I don't know if I wrote it out here. Oh yeah, it's this stuff, which I think is technically 3/8, but it's like a super thin wall. I'll have to see if I can find any more of this, but that worked perfectly for the last build. But anyway, even though I'm not going to use any of these connectors and stuff, what I am going to do is get you set up, and then I'm going to hook all of this stuff up together, and we'll turn it on with the display there, and make sure it all works. Make sure the brake sensors work, make sure the thumb throttle works, make sure the pedal sensor works, make sure the motor spins, and that way we'll know that this stuff is good before we start putting it together into pieces that are much more difficult to take apart. Okay, so here's all of our various controller things. This is the one for the motor, so you got 3 woefully undersized power wires, and you've got 6 wires for the sensor and the speed. So those go here. These hook up like so. Green. Blue. Alright, this guy is for our display. And because the display has an integral throttle, that's what this guy is. So this hooks up to the throttle wire, which is this one, I think. Yeah. I feel like I should be able to do this in my sleep anymore. This is our brake sensor that goes to the yellow and black. That's this guy. And what are we missing? Oh yeah, the pedal sensor. That goes to the brown wire, so that's going to be this guy. Like that. So that's everything hooked up for that. Now for purposes of this, I'm just going to slide all these bits onto the handlebars. I am just going to use these handlebars for cost and sentimentality reasons. So that'll go like that. The other side, almost out of frame, but not quite, goes over here. So we can get to these. Now I'm going to tilt you up just a little bit so we can make sure that we can see this thing. So the motor is going to go up here. And we'll just spin it on nice and light with the washers and nuts that it came with, just so it doesn't get away from us. Gotcha. Incidentally, this controller is a Kuntang, which is like the popular Chinese model. Kuntang and I think Bafang, or maybe Bafang is just the motors, but I've got another Kuntang controller and it seems pretty okay. So for the motor, we just line up the arrows, the black on black arrows, and gently shove that into place. I'm going to be using, okay, you can't see that. This battery, this what's it, will plug into power right now. Okay, power is off. I'm going to shove this into place. And now we're going to turn the power on. Let's make sure nothing blows up. Not see or smell anything yet. That's good. Press the power on here. And yeah, woke right up. So we'll try the brakes first. If I squeeze those, see the brake icon comes on for both of them. So those brake levers are good. And now we're going to turn this down to its lowest. I think we're going to try and turn it off actually. And we'll just gently massage this pedal assist sensor with the magnets and see if they wake up. It's not looking like it's getting... Oh, there it goes. Okay. So all we need to do is get that to blink a little bit. Then if we see it say pass up here, that means pedal assist sensor. So if we just give this a little rhythmic love, yeah, you can see that pass coming on. So that means the pedal assist sensor is good. So now if we press the throttle, it should say throttle, and it does. So now we're going to turn the assist up to 1 and see if it spins the motor. And it does. And that's full tilt, but it should be tons of torque. Oh, here we go. That's full tilt. That's on 5. See what it's drawing. About 10 watts. So that's good. We've determined that all of these parts fit on the handlebars. We've determined that this is good. All 3 of these things are good. The controller's good. And the pedal sensor is good. So that means we're good to go on the electronics side, and so that means it is time to build up this wheel. And I might film lacing it up, but it's going to look exactly like it did on the other one. So yeah, we're getting pretty close. The only things I got left to buy are a front brake. I think I'm going to go with a U brake for this guy, because it's kind of BMX-y. I mean, it's a mountain bike, but it's kind of BMX based. So I have hopes that that a U-brake will fit this better and still be reasonably powerful. And then just waiting for the frame and fork to come back. Got to buy a headlight for it, and I got to buy. I'm probably going to take a 12-volt regulator and put it inside the battery, or a 12-volt DC to DC rather, and then I'll regulate that down to like 3 volts for the rear light. And I think I'm just going to have it run the whole time the battery's on, because I kind of want the headlight to be on the whole time the battery's on also. So even if it's not being an e-bike, even if you're just pedaling home, as long as the battery is on, you'll have light. Seems like a reasonable plan. Plus a little bit of daytime running light. It's pushing a 500 watt-hour battery, so like wasting 4 or 5 watts on lighting doesn't seem like a giant handicap to me. So yeah, progress.